Welcome back to Area DMG. I am your host, Philip Wesley, the Mile High Mouth, and today we're going to talk about DS cases. DS and 3DS cases. These are the cases that your games come in. When an insert is in there, they look a little bit like this. Right? So, let's talk a little bit about what these are. First things first, these are PP recyclable. They are number 5, so you can't compost them. There's a couple regulations that have to deal with these. Let's talk about the differences between these cases. This one's an original DS case, like from the first generation of games that were put out for that. This one is a European case for DS games, and this is a 3DS case. Now there's a version of this case that's out there that's got a big hole in the middle here that's a recycling symbol, and that one is also missing this particular section. Uses a lot less plastic. What's interesting with this one is you have a section over here for the your manuals and other inserts. Many of these older ones had a little section here for option packs or for older Game Boy Advance games. In fact, some people specifically track down these so that they can make inserts and display their Game Boy Advance games inside them. Now later versions of this don't have this little case section, and that's kind of a shame. This section over here is where you put your DS games, and it will not fit 3DS games. Okay, that's the first one, the European one. This is the one they have in Europe and Australia. It's a little bit thicker, and the manuals are a little bit thicker because they usually have multiple languages. This one fits, of course, a DS game. It will not fit 3DS games, and of course it fits a Game Boy Advance game. This one over here is a 3DS case. We'll probably do an update on these videos once the new 3DS only games come out. And let's see, this will fit a 3DS game. They will fit older DS games, and they have no spot for Game Boy Advance games, sadly. Now, Nintendo sells these on their websites, and some third-party manufacturers are now 3D printing these. So if you're a person who wants to get the ones that have the Game Boy Advance cart for that, you'll have to look online for some resellers. Keep in mind that sometimes those differ in quality, and sometimes they can be in rough shape, and they can also be kind of pricey. So if you're wanting physical boxes for all your Game Boy Advance games, that might be a little pricey. Nintendo sells these by themselves. To be perfectly honest, some older DS games actually look better in these white cases than they do in the black cases. There were white cases that were made for DSi only games, but they're pretty much a white version of this, but with a big old recycling emblem taken out of it. So we're leaving those out of the video because I don't know where mine are. So that's that. These are the differences between the 3 cases. This is a European DS case, this is an older DS case, and this is a 3DS game case. You are now informed. I'm your host, Philip Wesley, the Mile High Mouth, and you are now caught up.